Welcome to episode 2 of Injured a Bee series. In this episode, I am covering my understanding of the law on what I am doing, and how this video series will develop. But as I extensively state, this is not legal advice. Just my story showing the issues I believe exist with the WCB Alberta system, and how I am personally choosing to deal with this situation. I will be using the basic Google search AI for these videos, but strongly urge everyone to do further research on any decisions they are going to make in their personal situation, no matter how similar it may seem to my case. So, without anything further, let's get into this. One of the main issues with WCB Alberta's policies is they claim things like transparency, ensuring accuracy, and their clients' recovery being their #1 goal. So, it seems hard to believe that an insurance company that uses telephones to communicate with their clients would not make any form of legal recording while speaking with your worker. Only during the time you are speaking with the call center agents do they worry about recording for accuracy, which is why when you call into WCB Alberta's main line, you will hear this message. Yet while speaking to the worker that is handling your file, they only rely on written notations that your WCB worker will possibly write sometime after your call, and it will be treated as fact, even though early on. I feel the workers were not open about their recording policies, and I felt led to believe that all calls were recorded. So there was ultimate proof of what WCB and I discussed on my file. Now a major part in protecting the validity of what is written in the WCB worker letters, I decided to start recording early on to ensure everything was kept honest. But wish I had have did this step from the beginning, since in Canada, I have found that we have the one-party consent rule, which means one person in the conversation has to be aware and agree to the recording of the conversations. So, even though I am the one recording, my consent is all it takes to be able to legally record a conversation, and these recordings can be used in WCB procedures, internal and external file reviews, or towards any legal actions one may take against WCB Alberta and the workers themselves, which will be discussed in further in an upcoming episode. So make sure to like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on how this story unfolds. One main procedure that WCB Alberta seems to pride itself on: accuracy and open transparency, which is a great thing to say. But as you review WCB's procedures on how they ensure they offer transparency on decisions, where privacy policy seems to ensure a heavily redacted file, even in doctor reports and decisions, the fact that they do not record their conversations being had about your file, and reducing the proof to whatever your worker decides to write, it seems like a very poor way to ensure that accuracy and transparency are part of their key process, especially since, in my case, I seem to be missing worker notes on days-long phone calls had happened, and I am told I cannot review the timestamps on the notes for the phone call. So who even knows how long after, and how many other clients my worker had helped in between, when the call had happened and when the notes were taken. So this is a major reason that deciding to record since the beginning is an excellent way to ensure proper accuracy if there are any issues on your file in the future. Because as it is said, it is better to have and not need than need and not have. Now, a major step in dealing with a situation like this was researching laws and how they might affect what I can do with this series. I am able to record based on one-person consent as mentioned earlier, but releasing the audio online can be a little more complex. So I decided based on my research that I would use an AI generator to recreate our conversation so that I do not make any mistakes with privacy policies for Canadian rights, but have ensured to research how to preserve the audio recording so They can be used in any reviews or legal actions that I take, which will be an entire episode on its own, as I have found useful steps that might help me to create a civil suit against WCB Alberta, and possibly the workers themselves if enough negligence or these actions are found to be done on purpose with the intentions of breaking WCB's policies themselves. Since I am allowed to make a documentary about the subject, but the gray area still pertains to the audio recordings and whether or not I could be sued for releasing something in the footage, and do not have a legal team to fall back on, I have decided to take the approach of AI regeneration of the audio so that the AI can keep the tone of how things are being said, as context is really important when looking at the facts, which I believe throughout this series, I will definitely show compelling argument that WCB Alberta and the way the Alberta government responds to these issues is not in tune with their companies or government responsibilities to ensure an injured worker's injuries are first priority, that proper accuracy is maintained, or that their process ensures an injured worker's rights are respected in accordance with Canadian Charter of Rights or Canadian morality. In upcoming episodes, we will be getting further into my situation and the injustices that I feel I am facing, but we'll be treading lightly, so remember, no original audio recordings of conversations will be used, so stay tuned to learn what I believe is to be very valuable information to consider if you are unfortunate enough to get hurt in Alberta, but always consult a legal professional before deciding on how to deal with your own personal situation. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to keep up to date, and please share this channel to help others learn about what I feel are major issues with the WCB Alberta system.